After India's Operation Sindoor, which targeted Pakistan, I have with me the Federal's editor-in-chief, Mr. S. Srinivasan, to understand what this move means for the country's military strategy and diplomatic approach. Thank you for joining me, sir. Let me start with the question that's on many people's minds at this hour. Pakistan has actually reacted to this strike saying, quote, Pakistan will respond to it at a time and place of its own choosing, unquote. Should people in India be worried about any retaliatory attacks from Pakistan?
This has been the first reaction from Pakistan. If you carefully read the statement, it's more of a boilerplate kind of a statement which says that we will strike back and we'll, at the place of our choosing, uh, which is expected because one would clearly say that if India has, as Indian government has claimed, that it has made missile attacks in 9 sites. It's obviously an escalation. So the Pakistan has to come out with something. So therefore, they have made this statement. But how far they keep it, what is the kind of counter they do? We have to wait and watch. I think India has been, in a way, India has been ready for that. That's why, if you remember today, later in the day, India had planned countrywide civil defense exercises, mock exercises, so that whenever there is a real situation emerges, people are prepared for that. Also, if you notice, yesterday there were news reports which suggested that there have been, air exercises which Indian Air Force has been conducting along the borders. So this has been going on. So I expect there could be some kind of, kind of retaliation from Pakistan. Why? Because this situation is slightly different from what happened in 2019. Then the political leadership, Imran, was headed by Imran Khan, and he was more in the nature of, he was in favor of reconciliation, and he didn't have such an aggressive as the current regime is. The Indian establishment is particularly blaming the two, Asims, General Asim Munir and his close confidant, newly minted National Security Advisor. And he's also chief of the Inter Services Intelligence, which is a kind of a deep state within Pakistan. So General Asim Munir and the other Asim, these Asim Malik, it is believed that Indian establishment clearly believes that these two have actually brought India and Pakistan almost to a brink of war by engineering Pahalgam attack. Because the suspicion is, as you must have seen in other interviews, that which various army experts give to the federal, that this seems to be a planned one. Pahalgam, where 26 lives have been taken, 25 Indians, one Nepalese, can't be just wished away as one more terror strike, which has been the regular feature in Kashmir in the past. But right now, after a long while, there's a major escalation there has happened. But it can't be just another strike. It could be planned because of the nature, the level of casualties it has taken, and the viciousness with which the attack has happened, and the way the terrorists have addressed the victims, and they try to create a communal divide. All this clearly suggests a certain action plan. Therefore, India had promised to retaliate, and then it has done it so by saying that, look, we haven't struck at any military establishment. We have only tried to uh, kind of finish all the terror camps which exist in Pakistan. But the question is, really, we'll have to see the story later in the day today. What kind of destructions these attacks have done? The news reports right now suggested there have been 12 civilians who have been killed in one particular area. Um, so we really don't know. It would really depend what kind of counter Pakistan does, depending on what kind of damage has happened on the other side. if there are too many civilian casualties and there are other things which has happened, I'm sure for their own domestic audience, Pakistan Army and its establishment will try to do something. So I think it's still on the watch and watch mode. As the reports coming in as we are talking, I just now saw news reports suggesting that there are a lot of shelling which is happening on the borders. Now, India Pakistan border, which has got three components: LOC, line of action, and a line of actual control, line of actual control, international border IB. In LOC, there have been constant firings. Which it is one of the most live borders in the world, Indo-Pak border, and small arms exchange of fire regularly takes place, and it's been happening especially after Pahalgam. And today, the report suggests that there have been shelling which has happened, which means bigger bore guns have been being fired. Uh, India
And if I
this
may
time.
interrupt you now, sir, the Indian Army has just tweeted that Pakistan violates the ceasefire agreement again, and there is artillery firing in Poonch and Rajouri area.
Yeah, so they have certainly done an artillery firing in those areas, and Punch and Rajouri being on the bordermost, in the Jammu area, which gets affected immediately. That's why I think the training has happened, mock exercises happened, so that people take shelter in bunkers and other places. Uh, these kind of shelling has happened in the past. It happened in various tense situations which India Pakistan faced. This time, of course, the attack from Indian side has been slightly different. If you recall, the Pulwama, India had sent its air force, and there were airstrikes. This time, India is saying that we have sent missiles, which is a kind of you know uh, a different kind of action which Indian forces have taken. So we'll have to really wait and see what is the damage on the ground, and what kind of therefore reaction comes from Pakistan. So we'll have to really wait and see. I think most of these things will be clear as the day proceeds.
How will this military move, affect how the world sees India, especially since many world leaders reacted to the Pahalgam attack?
See, the world, the leaders, everyone has, on a unequally, they have all condemned the terrorist attack. Nobody would support any kind of terror in any part of the world. So it's natural that such condemnation has come from everywhere. There has been all-round condemnation, and it is a very well-known fact worldwide that there is a problem between India and Pakistan on Kashmir, on the issue of Kashmir, and there have been terror strikes which have been happening on that border. And as I said earlier, it's also one of the perhaps the border which remains live throughout the year as far as military is concerned. Uh, you see, as you saw the statement, we'll have to really see the statements, what comes after the Indian strike. India has said that it has only, you know, uh, trying to take down terror camps. That's the Indian contention. So it really depends on what kind of reactions they do. But if you see the reaction which came before this, uh, I think largely it has been more kind of sympathetic to India, but there have been many neutral statements also, which has come from kind of advising that look, please don't escalate the situation, because I think the world right now is already seeing two major conflicts: one going in Israel Palestinian, the other in Ukraine. So obviously, it's not prepared to see another battle, another war going on. So obviously, there will be a lot of advice for restraint. But on the other side, it really, how does the diplomacy, Indian diplomacy, handles it? What kind of reactions we see? We'll again see later in the day, because we'll also know the details of the military strike, as Indian military establishment has said that it will address the press and explain Operation Sindoor. There's a press conference which is later today, and we could expect some statements and messages also coming from higher political level. So we'll have to see all this. to really, you know, uh, see what kind of reactions come from, uh, you know, especially major powers.